Aries, welcome to your in-depth open reading. You will note that your message looks different compared to Leo and Sag, so I typically film in groups of elements. And I had done with yours, and I decided to move it over to record with the air signs, and I did that on purpose, which is something I don't think I've ever done before. I've restarted messages before, absolutely, and sometimes I have to put things off on different days. But this was really different, so let me tell you what I saw 4 times. 4 times before I said, you know what, I'm going to force the energy to change on a different day. So 4 times I saw, and I shuffled, baby, I shuffled those cards. 4 times I saw an Aries who was undisputedly in a marriage. It was straight up commitment. Saw it several times. Where 2 people were emotionally not attached to each other. Unhappy. They took comfort in the foundation. That seemed to be 2 people's source of pride and joy, was the foundation. Specifically as related to family and community, because it was extensive. It seemed to go outwards in many directions. Who you knew, how well you knew them, how many people you knew. That is when you 2 came together as a couple and you're like, yes, this is what we have. We have accumulated all this. But as individuals, when you had no one to entertain, and you had no one to connect with, and you didn't have social engagements, for which you 2, again, had a ton of it. Lots of social activity. You're like the talk of the town. Everybody knows who you are. Like, you are that couple. You guys are so connected to everybody. Everybody knows you. Your team. You show up together. 2 people. Everybody. Aries in that person. Everybody knows, right? And that's what you 2 took a lot of pride in. How much you had established, and again, the foundation. But when you 2 had nowhere to be, you had no schedules, no agendas, no busyness, no fussiness, no social activities, birthdays, Hanukkah, quinceañera, whatever. When it was actually quiet, just you 2 hated each other. It put me in a position of, what? Because you know me, honey, I dig. And if you're new to the channel, hi, my name's Christina, I dig. I'm kind of known for my in-depth readings, and I dig, and I kept trying to understand it. You 2 only rallied around your foundation. There was a lot of pride in that. How long you 2 had been connected, everybody you know, how well you know them. The social engagement was no joke. Between career and family, forget about it. You 2 had stuff going on every week, every weekend. Boom, booked, boom, booked, boom. In fact, you could be accused of being overbooked. But when you 2 had nothing, there was no busyness, there was no noise to drown out your personal relationship, that's when it was on. That's when the both of you were on, and couldn't stand each other. Emotionally disconnected. No personal time together. It's like you were making up for your personal time as a couple with other people, except you 2. Just you 2. And I saw it over and over again. Your public selves versus your private selves were 2 different people. And I very rarely redo messages anymore unless it's one thing. I see no improvement. That's not why I'm here. I want to push those collectives who need the work because they want the work. They're saying, bring it on. That's when they tune in to me. I'm going to go to Christina for the hard shit. The not easy stuff. Everybody else is going to give me the smoke and mirrors bullshit and the candy cane routine. Christina's not going to do that. I want real solutions because I got real problems. Thus, that's my crew. Especially my Aries crew. Very much like that. And that's something I personally take pride in. But this whoever I was saying here, they had no solutions to offer. I don't make the solutions, guys, out of thin air. I might get advice from spirit, but for the most part, you tell me what it is you're willing to do, what you're thinking about, what you're leaning towards. What do you want to see for yourself? What are your goals? And these 2 people were determined to not have goals to fix anything, just accept it. And that's why I was frustrated. I saw it 4 times, baby. 4 times. These 2 people were miserable, alone, when it was quiet. And I think that's what the filler was, honey. All that noise. All the fireworks. Look at all the friends we have. Look at all the career network contacts I have. Look at all these engagements on the calendar. I'm going here this week. I'm going there. We are. And that's when you 2 were great. pride, full of pride, activity. But when you were by yourselves and quiet, oh my God, they hated each other. You go over here, I go over here. And that was an open hate, but it was emotional disconnect, dissonance. Okay, I don't want to be around you now. We're alone. The foundation's great. I'm not complaining about the foundation. I just don't want to be around you. Can you find something else to do? Something like that. The open emotional disdain. I don't feel anything for this, and neither do you, and we both kind of accept it. It was interesting. And it was sad. I can see where the pride was. I get that, man. I get that. When people rely on you, your family, your network, your connectivity, and there's so much pride in that. It's like you two took pride in that, and how busy you are. You took pride in how much you needed and wanted and desired by your family and your community and by work. It was all in there. It was a big pot. It was a big pot that you both had contributed to over the years. I'm not knocking that. I'm not knocking that pot. It was an impressive pot. But I'm also saying it all looked exhausting to me. And it looked like overcompensation, if I'm being honest with you. Overcompensation for what was not there between two people. So you spread out the good feeling to everyone else except what's between you two. That's what it was. And I saw no solution to it. So I didn't know why it kept being pointed out to me, because I saw nothing that said either one of you was interested in changing. But neither one of you was happy. Except for one thing. And that was going back to the foundation. That's where all the pride was. But I did not love. Love for other people, yes. But not like that. Not husband and wife. Not commitment. Not boyfriend, girlfriend. That was a clear disdain. And I didn't see that shifting. I didn't see it shifting. So I tried, honey. And I don't know why I'm going so above and beyond. I don't know why I just didn't let it lay the fourth time. I don't know why. I typically do. It's called like third time's the charm. It's going to stay as it lays. But I pushed it a fourth time. And now here we are today. So this is technically your fifth. I don't know why I pushed it. I don't know why I'm still pushing it. I can't tell you. Not everything is even known to me. I just have a feeling. That's just all it is. It's a feeling. I don't know how to explain it sometimes. That's just why I do my job. Okay. I hope that helped you if that's something that you are going through. All I can really tell you is just based on basic advice. It has nothing to do with advice from spirit. I didn't even get that far. 30 minutes I kept saying the same thing. Anyway. If you know that that's what you can quote unquote live with, and you can agree to it mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, spiritualities like this, up and down, okay? If you are in alignment with you, and you can honestly say, this is acceptable to me, then you accept it. You're at peace with it. There's no need to show disdain or emotional disconnectivity, because if you're really in alignment and you're saying that that's what I choose, then you need to choose it. And say that you choose it. It's not a passive choice, or I'm locked into this, or I can't get out of it. That's not good enough. It's not. It's what we tell ourselves, and it's bullshit. So if that's really where you are, and you can truly be at peace with it, own it. Okay? And that way you don't feel like you're a victim, or that you're trapped into something. You're saying, this is mine, and I accept it for what it is. And the other person needs to do the same. It may not be the love or marriage of a lifetime, but a lot's built into it, and I respect that. So you both need to own it from that point of view. And that will help make your relationship easier. Okay? No more expectations beyond that. Just accept it. Or one or both of you needs to accept this is how it really is, and I don't know that it's good enough for me. Because let's make this clear. 4 readings, no healing. None. Just to more or less compromise to do the best we can in each other's energy and in each other's lives, and try not to create too much of a fuss when it's just you and me, because we don't really like each other, really. Never mind being in love with each other. But when it came time to the social engagement, oh honey, that face was on. It was game time. We got a reputation in our careers, in our community, in the family, in the friends, for which it was huge. I cannot begin to tell you. One person was tasked with the monetary division, 100%. The other person was heavily associated with driving the family and friends thing. So it was between those two forces that it was just so busy and so loud. But once we got home, and it was private, and it was quiet, it was kind of like both of your energies went like this towards each other. but nobody would suspect that on the outside. I'm not saying you were open warring, not fighting, but it was just kind of like, I'm not really into you, and you're not really into me. So I'm going to go over here and listen to music. You go over there and sit in front of the TV, and then we're just, that's it. It's kind of like that. All I can do is trust my instincts, honey. But here we are. Open read in depth. Again, I hope that helps. Let's talk about that. So the Sunday Shuffle, I've been enjoying those. They have been largely, like 11 minutes, jeez. They have been open readings, so it's just say non-placement specific and no themes attached to them. Whatever hits the table is whatever hits the table, and I've been enjoying them a great deal. And I have not been able to push them as much as I should like, as the Sunday Shuffle has to be shorter. But this one I thought, let's do an open read down here at the big table, and I can push it, clarify it, oracles on top of oracles, whatever. We'll do it. See what happens. So take it resonates, leave it does not. These are still general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which means they may or may not resonate. Okay? There you go. So take it resonates, leave it does not. And if it doesn't resonate at all, check your other placements. You will find yourself in there somewhere. Now, let's... I'm keeping my fingers crossed. Let me tell you, I don't know if I can handle that a fifth time. I can't. Why am I saying this? And it's just better to turn around and accept it for what it is instead of passively accept it, or understand that it's not for you, and you both need to come to terms with that as well. That's really it. Those are the two choices there. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look at you. 8 of Cups. Okay. Hold up, boo-boo. 8 of Wands. Strength. 4 of Cups. Ha! That's more active than comparatively. Yeah, okay. There's that emotional disconnectivity and dissonance. All right. And it's still here. Here's the thing. Somebody is doing what I advise and kind of opening up and talking about it. I'm unhappy. And it's taking strength of will to do it. I admit. Oh, yes. But we're talking to somebody about our unhappiness. Instead of just accepting it, we feel it strongly. This is the only placement I'm designating for the open reads, is just to see what's with you on kind of like a full-time basis. What is your full-time saturation energy right now? Other than that, it's just is what it is. There really isn't an emphasis on past or future unless I see something like that. The Wheel of Fortune. The King of Swords, the Chariot. Okay. Hey, that's some strong decision making right there. That's the opposite of passive. I don't know what you're doing, but you've made a strong declaration. We'll take it. It's like, with me, I made a decision. Okay, I don't know what your decision is, but time has passed. In other words, from what I'm seeing here to whatever this is, it is more future oriented. But again, open reads, that's the only downside, is that I can't say exclusively this is the past or the future. It tends to be a high concentration of now. Libra's was on fast forward. Aquarius's was right there. Gemini's was right there. You see what I'm saying? So that's the only real downside to open reads. But other than that, it's been very interesting. All right. Okay. I like this. It's strong. It's consolidated. But it's further out with the Wheel of Fortune. All right. Let's take a look. Let's see that 8 of Cups, please. Let's see that 8 of Cups. Let's see that 8 of Cups. Let's see that 8 of Cups. Let's say that 8 of Cups. I don't know why I did. I don't know why I pushed it so many times. I just know that I was supposed to, and that I'm supposed to report it to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't have done it. It's just, like I said, it's the third time. That's it. That's my rule. 8 of Cups for the 8 of Cups. So whatever this is pertinent. Knight of Cups. 2 of Swords. Yeah, we can't help but contemplate if there's any point to opening up to whatever is supposed to be receiving our love, because you don't know that there's a point for it to go anywhere. Okay, good. So, I mean good. I'm not happy that the 8 of Cups is there twice. I'm not. But the point is that we're questioning it. Good. We're trying to understand why we feel emotionally disconnected. There's a reason why. See, I do this. I'm never mind how many years old that's not your business. But there is a reason why, and I don't always know it, but it comes up later. And that's what it is to be intuitive. It doesn't always make sense. It's a feeling. 8 of Cups to the 8 of Cups, that's a lot of emotional disconnectivity, and you are hyper aware of it. So wherever it is your love is supposed to go with that Knight of Cups, you're like, what's the point? I don't feel it. Thank you. Oh, God. You don't even know, honey. You don't even know. Imagine 4 readings, 30 minutes a pop. That's 2 hours of Aries. And this is already more progress by miles because you're questioning it. I didn't have you questioning it before. You just kind of accepted it as is, as did your person. Thank you. Okay. you don't even know. Okay. So that is very strong emotional disconnectivity. It's with you now, and it's been with you for a minute. That's double confirmation. So this has been happening possibly as long as 8 months or even 16 months. I hope not, but you understand the point of it, right? It's been there for a minute. This didn't happen overnight. You've been emotionally disconnecting this for a while. So the Knights, as we know, is responsible for delivering our information outside of us. This is our emotional flow, specifically how we express ourselves from the heart, and also our vulnerability, our romantic energies in there. The Knights have multiple meanings and connotations. That's the ball and wax of that. And the Two of Swords, you're like, what's the point of expressing myself? I don't feel a damn thing, and there's a good chance it's not even being received by the other person. Thank you. I'm not saying they're a bad person. What I'm saying is that you openly acknowledging this is huge, comparatively. You understand? That means you're questioning it. That means you understand the feeling. You don't like it. I'm not saying you're happy about it, but you're acknowledging it, and that's a huge difference. Huge difference. You cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. And the other 2 folks I was saying, they ain't acknowledging jack and shit. They're like, well, everybody gives us props on the outside, so that's enough validation for us both. So I guess we'll keep doing it, right? Some people can live their entire lives off the validation of other people. And that keeps them going. And that something had to keep them going because there sure as hell weren't any love between them. Anyway, You're like, I'm acutely aware of this, Christina. Acutely. Okay. You're questioning, what's the point of expressing yourself? What's the point of being vulnerable? What's the point of saying I love you? Stuff like that. It's not even being received. And do I even feel it? I don't want to be a liar. What if it's hollow? What if I'm saying it just because it's mechanical? I don't want to do that either. Yeah. Good. Awareness is frightening. Awareness can be frightening, don't get me wrong. But it also tells us, okay, this is what's going on. That's what awareness is. There's all different types of awareness, honey. Do you know there's such a thing as an emotional IQ? There's a real test around that, emotional IQ. There's all sorts of IQ tests. Emotional intelligence is one of them. I remember I took one, oh God, I don't know, back in my 20s. I had never been exposed to it before I was studying it. That's why I had to take the test. It was for sampling. And psychology is my background. And I took my emotional IQ test, and my professor comes back with, so you might be what we call highly empathetic and sensitive. Which means you're hyper aware of people's emotions. And I'm like, thanks, Doc. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't told me that. So what I'm saying is that awareness is a beautiful thing, but it can also feel like a curse, because once you're aware of that kind of emotional disconnectivity, it's like, what do I do with it? How do I improve it, right? So let's see the Eight of Wands. Show me the Eight of Wands. Show me the Eight of Wands. The Hanged Man, communication, Knight of Swords, the Empress. Okay, there's some recognition in here. You took some time out because this is so different, honey. 5th time's the charge for you, boo-boo. Okay, so this is so different. This is the opposite of passive. This is the Aries I'm used to. You're a cardinal fire. You are meant to take initiative. That's just what you do. That's why you're associated with impatience, by the way. Did you know that? Because you're a cardinal fire. You're usually the first to do everything. This, however, you have taken your time with. The communication, I believe, is building up in you as we speak. But it's good communication. It's meant to be constructive. You're taking this seriously. You do want to communicate these things to someone of importance. I see another Knight. You got a lot of Knights in you. Again, very Aries. Okay? There's the communication. The Hanged Man. Time out. I want to make sure I'm saying what I'm saying just right, just so. Okay, I've given it a lot of thought. So you went on delay, and then you're coming off delay. So again, this was active Hanged Man, active communication. It's being deployed relatively soon. If you have not had this conversation with your special person yet, it's coming up, but you already know this. And that's if you identify with this reading. If you don't, it's not yours. Done. Okay? And the Empress. So this is someone who's clearly outside of you, because I see your Knights taking action twice. One doesn't know that he should bother, and this one is communication. It's pointed at someone who represents the Empress. So that Empress can be someone who is beautiful, generous, highly productive, or if they're not loving or generous, then they're someone of high status. In other words, they have a heavy influence or say in your life. So I don't know who they are to you, but you're saying, bare minimum, this is someone of status in my life. They have a lot of say in my life. I talk to this person about everything, or I do a lot of things with them. They're important. In other words, they're not just someone I can put off. They're someone I have to answer to, or I need to cooperate with. So even if they don't represent that emotional generosity, they represent status, bare minimum. And we've carefully thought about what we're going to say. We've come out of Hanged Man. Boom. You'll be having this conversation soon. It's taking you strength to do this. I understand. This is important shit you're talking about, right? Show me strength, please. Oh, there's a reason, honey. There's a reason. Oh, my Lord. See, now, I don't always see things until after they happen, of course. And that's what it is to be intuitive. And apparently highly emotionally intelligent. There's a point where, you can be understanding to the point of breaking, and you have to learn to firm up, because you just can't be a bleeding heart to everybody, because you just can't. You just can't. And that's something I've had to learn. And Aries, honey, it's looking like you may not have been always so emotionally aware, but you are now, and you need to be. You really need to be in tune with yourself. Not just what you're feeling, but what you're not feeling. Yeah? It's equally important. Let's see that strength, please. Let's see that strength. Let's see that strength. Let's see that strength. Let's see that strength, please. Seven of Wands, the Knight of Wands, the Ten of Wands. You're saying this is really hard for me, but I had to work myself into it. I understand. That's very you. Your energy's here. It's wanting to do something. It is equal parts restless and also worried. That's your fire for you. When you're showing me 3 Knights, man, I know you want to take care of business. And like I said, that's very you. So you're showing me positive and negative fire. It's all mixed up. Strength is positive fire. Card of Leo. You might have some Leo in your chart. Could be connecting one. We also have Cancer here. Taurus, Libra, so on and so forth. The Seven of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and the Ten of Wands. You're saying this has been really hard for me, but it's building up, and it's getting to the point where it's becoming unmanageable. I have got to get this off my chest. I have to do something about it. It's making me restless, agitated, irritated, all that stuff. And it's not that you're angry with them. It's more like you can't keep sitting on this. And that's why you carefully crafted your words. That's what this is. And you mean it with sincerity. You're trying to leave your emotions out of it, which is funny because that's what's up for discussion. But I think it's because you're trying to approach this with the seriousness with this person. But yeah, you've given us a lot of careful thought, and you're saying it's taking you strength. It's taking you strength to kind of tap down, okay, or to temper down the anger and the frustration, to approach this with positivity and enthusiasm and optimism for a good, hopeful outcome. There's nervousness in here. There's frustration, anger, all that, but you are trying to show me a steady energy in this. I'm going to approach this. I can't, it's just eating me up. It's building me up. It's building up. It's building up. I got to do something. I got to say something. But it's coming out very carefully. So very good. Good. So here's your real kind of raw, authentic self that you are kind of carefully shaping and crafting for the other person to receive. All right, let's see that 4 cups. Then here's the conversation, guys. This is the real stuff. I'm unhappy. I think you are too. The 4 cups, I know you felt it. And I think you strongly suspect that they do. You can be someone, by the way, of high status. I really value your opinion, so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean that the feelings are in place or in order, So I'm very happy for you. I'm very proud of you. Maybe I was supposed to see this on another day when some of the energy, that's probably what it is. We needed another day for the energy to shift. That's probably what it was. Okay. I'm going to try to remember that. I've seen a lot, honey, but I ain't seen it all. We might have needed another day. Huh. That means a lot of something happened or fell into place in the past 24 hours. Page of Swords, 8 of Pentacles, the 6. Ooh, yes, okay. It's sharp, but it's clear. That means it's goal-oriented. You made up your mind. We either work through this or we move on. Oh! This is Aries. This is Aries. But it also makes me strongly suspect that you are not Aries dominant. It's not an insult. It's just, it's one of those things that I get fascinated about. I was discussing that with Scorpio. I love to just solve things. It's my only real obsessive habit. I like to solve things. It's something I have to do, and I like to solve things. So I mean, even when I was talking to you, I clocked the time because I wanted to go back and reference this for my own study so I can unravel it more later. I'm kind of intense. I was like, what mark? That was the 25-minute marker. I want to go back, look at this, and study it some more. That's no joke. I really am like this, guys. I am. Those of you who know me in real life, you know that. Anyway, 4 of Cups. Yeah, it's very addressing. It's very addressing. It's very strong, and it's saying I've been giving this a lot of thought, and I don't know how much thought you've given it, because there's an admission here of a Page of Swords, little guy. In other words, somebody hasn't been thinking about this enough. I already ruled you out. You opened up with it. I think you're saying to this person, have you realized, because you seem kind of unhappy to me all the time. You seem to be disappointed all the time. I don't know if you've noticed it, but here's the thing. We need to put real work into this, or we got to move on from it. Eight of Pentacles suggests real work. Real work. And we're talking about emotions here, guys, not money. Could it be about money? Sure. But it's about the emotions. You made that clear. And you're even addressing them. I don't think you're happy either, if you're being honest with me or honest to yourself. We got to put real work into this or move on. It's kind of blunt, but it kind of tells me what's been building up in your mind and what you were saying and how you're trying to say it. And it's gotten to that point where you're like, your confidence is rising. I can't address it. And you can't address this. You got it. You do. I think you've made all your major points here in a way that's clear and concise, with real authentic energy behind it, but real world practical value backing it up. Okay? I think you have cleared way. You did your bullet points, babe. Bullet point. Bullet point. Okay, this is what I'm thinking here in column A, but whatever you want to call it, you're mapping out to me your thinking and your emotions. I mean, I can't begin to tell you. This is 1,000 miles apart from yesterday. There's a reason why I had to carry it over. Wheel of Fortune time had to pass. I'm telling you, maybe some of you did need 24 hours. Because, well, I admit, and this is personal. I'm not saying any of that 50,000 other people are involved in our lives. It's just you and me. And you have put the focus on you and them. Okay, good. Good, 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 good. Honey, I got a foundation too. I've got a huge network too, but it does not cross the threshold of my personal world. Business is business. Now, family is family, and they should be treated as such. But I'm saying, you shouldn't have to showcase shit to justify your relationship. And you most certainly don't need the validation of others to indicate if you're in a healthy relationship or not. That's down to those two people. Anyway, I cannot begin to tell you what a major point that was. What's on the calendar is what's on the calendar. You shouldn't be filling up that calendar just to escape your person or to prove that you're together. See what I'm saying? Okay. The Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. 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 Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Oh, God, honey. Let's see the results. I see the determination to move forward. Let's see if they responded, if they're listening, if they're understanding. What's going on? Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. I just want to congratulate you. This is so different. This is so hands-on. This is so active. This is so self-aware. I'm Wheel of Fortune for the Wheel of Fortune. Oh, my, yes. 2 of Cups. The Sun. Oh. Oh. Okay. Wheel of Fortune twice. That means you have a couple different things you could be doing. Oh, my. It's kind of like the universe is saying you could go this way or you could go that way. So, you're on the precipice of making a decision. I don't know what you will decide, but apparently you have a couple of choices. I do know this. You want the choice that has the highest probability of love and happiness. Which is why you're talking about this, or to this person at all. You want to know if they still love you and if they're happy with you. Or they can be again. If not, it's conditional, and the hinge swings in another direction. That's your concern. How this changes in future. Is there the opportunity for love and sunshine between us that is equal and easy? Equally felt, equally easy. Right? Neither one of us feels emotionally neglected or upset. How you shift from this, their cooperation, is going to depend if the outcome is healthy and beneficial and happy to you both. If not, you have another course before you where you could turn left over right, B over A, whatever. You got a double hinge, honey. You just know that you're going to determine to move forward in the best possible scenario, which is interesting. I wonder what the response is. Response doesn't mean shit, actions do. So if they can be like, yeah, I'm totally going to work on things with you. Yeah. And it either is getting into a better place of happiness, love, and equilibrium, and I mean real love, the kind where you can see it on the face and hear it in the voice, you know what I'm saying? You can look it in the eyes and know that it's true. And not the kind, yeah, love you too, babe, have a great day. And that's, big difference. But then again, I'm emotionally intelligent. I pick up on stuff like that. And you know, that's a lot of Scorpios will have that eye like, I just saw that. Did you just see that? And the other one would be like, I saw that shit. Anyway, it's interesting. It's really interesting. I hope they up their ante. I do. You shouldn't have a double Eight of Cups, honey. You shouldn't even have to question if your love is being received by them or if they even give a damn. No one should ever question that. And I understand they're unhappy too, and they have grievances too. You both do. That's why you offered or put forward the proposition to put real work into this, assuming they raise their point of view and understand it and see it for what it is. Because you cannot fix what you do not change, or I'm sorry, you cannot change what you do not acknowledge. Excuse me, I'm very tired. There's the fourth for today. You cannot fix what you do not acknowledge, so on and so forth. Let's see that King of Swords. Let's see that King of Swords. I've made up my mind. King of Swords, show me that King of Swords, please. The Moon. The Ace of Swords, clearing up the delusions. Three of Wands, looking out on the horizon. You're really coming to terms with some very hard things. You seem to be looking forward to the future on the horizon, and I do not know why. Let's see that Chariot moving forward. You're coming to terms with hard truths with the Moon. Good. Ace of Swords, you're clearing up any confusion, illusion, or delusion. Excellent. I still don't know if they chose to participate. I just know you're going to choose the future that says love and happiness. Simple happiness. Simple, fair, shared love. That's it. That's all you're asking for. You do feel relieved that you got all this stuff out of you. You addressed the truth as you best understood it. You offered a realistic game plan about how to fix things as you best understand it, assuming their cooperation. I just still haven't seen if they've done it yet. Perhaps you're giving them more time. I don't know. Two of Pentacles, Justice, the Ace of Wands. Okay. Okay. It's still in that position if it could swing either way. You are giving them time to understand if it's the right wheel of fortune for you, or the right hinge, or if the door's swinging in the right direction. You're giving them time. You just seem to have a very simple value. We either still love each other and can find happiness with each other, and I'm going to give you time to figure out if that's what you want, so long as we are not in illusions or delusions, okay? And we are honest with each other about our experience and putting work into this. And you're saying, kind of depending on the results, I'm either going for a new opportunity or you and I can balance and renew. With the Chariot. The Ace of Wands can either, with the Two of Pentacles there, it can represent either a new beginning or a renewal effort. Either way, it's fair and balanced based on their ability to keep up with you and stay in that energy of we can be happy with each other, but you be prepared to move in either direction. You're prepared to move in either direction. I guess you could say pending results. I'm not quite sure else how to put it. But pending results, you could move in either direction. If they really can't keep up with you emotionally or remember their feelings or get reacquainted with their feelings for you, basically this way, if they keep making you feel like you're in a position of 8 of Cups, 8 of Cups, 8 of Cups, there's no point in expressing my feelings towards this, I don't even know if I want it anymore, then you have your answer. Okay? I see which way you are leaning. And to be perfectly honest with you, I see you looking outward, forward to a different horizon. If I'm being honest with you, I don't see them catching up to you. And you're prepared for that. You're prepared for that. That's why you gave them the chance. You can't force someone to remember their feelings or to ever have them again once they're lost. And honey, it's not just them. I don't want to put the focus on them. That concerns you too. You're the one who opened up with a double 8 of Cups. I know you both experience it. But if you ever had to question if there's any point to you expressing your love at all, do you even feel it anymore? So it's not just them, it's you too. So I understand, and I'm glad and happy that you have a result that you're like, I know what I'm doing pending on this. Cool. But if I'm being honest with you, you already have your answer. I think what you're doing is giving them the space. Last chance to catch up. Last chance for us. I think you're more ready to part ways with it than keep it. So like I said, there's a reason why you got 2 Wheel of Fortunes. You could either go this way or that way. You're prepared for that. You're determined to move forward regardless. You're either prepared to move forward regardless into a new beginning or a renewed beginning. You said whichever one equals Christina, fair love and sunshine. That's the one I'm picking. In order to do that, you're going to have to spend more time on this situation to understand if it's taking effect. You know that, right? And what do I say all the time? You never wait unless you have damn good reason to. So you better ask yourself, do you have damn good reason to wait around for results on this? It seems to me, this is my 2 cents, this is not the cards. I will tell you the difference. It seems to me, if the healthy in-love energy was still here, you'd never have to question it. Never mind wonder if there was any point. Johnny, you've already emotionally checked out, so while I respect your process, I get it, I do. It's not really about them and how unhappy they are. It's really about you and how unhappy you have been. I don't want you to draw this thing out any longer than you already have. I think you already know the beginning you want. One where you don't have to fight for someone's feelings or their attention or whatever. You don't have to question yours. Because look at the boldness of that. Look at the boldness of that. He said, I'm making up my mind. So you two are being very honest with each other, but I still see your energy looking outward. You want a new beginning. You do. But for some reason, it's like you need it to be official. Like you officially gave this a chance, or you officially gave it a final shot. I think you're more done with it than you know. But there's something here about the officiousness. I have to try, and then I'll know. Because that's the only time I see you hesitate, is that you feel obligated to try. One last time, let's toss around that pentacle one more time, but you really don't want to toss it around anymore. You already know what you want to do. Okay? But I understand. Sometimes we have to go through the whole motions, right? You go through experience and you already know the outcome, but you're like, technically and or on principle, I should probably pursue this, but I already know what the end result, but I have to. I have to say I stood up for it. I have to say I stood up for myself. I have to say I tried XYZ before I did the final thing. I understand. What's interesting to me is that you're not anxious to shut this down so much as to move on, and there's a big difference. Anxious to shut this down suggests that you're angry and pissed off and frustrated, and you might be all those things, but that's not the dominant energy. The dominant energy says, I just want to move on, but not just yet. Like I said, it's conditional, but it also depends on someone else's willingness to change and change with you, and I don't think you can make those feelings grow back. They're so far disconnected from you. And they're not much better. So again, it's not really about them. It's about what are you ready for? And what do you no longer want to entertain? But yes, to say that this is an improvement is an understatement. The sun, there's that sun, the element of happiness again. Just wanting to feel warm again and alive again. Tower, radical change. Eight of Swords, we've been putting this off. We've been blind to this for a long time. Yeah, how do you think you got all those Eight of Cups, honey? That wasn't happenstance. The more we remain blind to something, okay, the more we're going to lose emotional value for it because we're not addressing it. So this is what happens. I'm going to put this off and I want to think about it. There's a consequence to that. There's a consequence to everything. When we're fragmented or we're not being honest with ourselves, there's always a price. Always. And sometimes it's no big deal. That's why most people pay it, because it's no big deal. It's a small thing. But for a while, we really, Eight of Swords, did not want to see how unhappy we were. Or we just took for granted, or we just assumed it was true. And that caused emotional numbness. We don't want to see it. Therefore, we don't get to feel it. Okay, the Hanged Man, getting perspective on this, as we talked about, particularly the ending. You've given a great deal of thought. It is conditional upon healing elements, as we've discussed. Anything else here, please? Ace of Cups, Nine of Cups. But I'm literally telling you what this whole fucking reading was about. The situation, how you came to learn about it, the reflection you've given it, the ending that is highly, highly probable, but you're still going to give it one last effort to put real work into it, or healing. But we both know what it is that you want to do. Again, it feels like it's a technicality thing. I have to technically give this a chance. A last chance, a second chance, or whatever chance. But in your heart of hearts, you know you want new. I saw new attached to you as a theory. Just like staying in this, a pending results is also a theory. But you are showing me energetic dominance to moving on, not staying here. Okay, which means it's probably healthier. Okay, anything else here, please? The High Priestess, listen to your intuition. It's already here. Who are you? Who are you? Who is that? Is that your new beginning? Your new beginning's hot. And intelligent. You have to know that you want to cut out the unhappiness in order to acquire that. You know this. Oh my. Oh my. Intuitively you feel not only is that new available to you and that it would be good for you, there's somebody here who represents passion, creativity, drive, but intelligence. Sharp. I don't know if you know this person or if they have presented themselves. But it comes manifesting through this, cutting through the Four of Cups bullshit. Cutting it out, knowing that it's not for you. It's conditional, but that's what the double Wheel of Fortune was for. It's a double hinge, like I said. I don't know if you know who that is. I've described them pretty well. First, the intuition might still be yours. Intuitively, you might feel like whoever that is there somewhere around you, near you, calls to you. Very feminine energy, very strong, but sharp. Okay. But yes, it's conditional. But you already know that. It's a double hinge. Okay. The cat, somebody else just got this. Oh, it was Libra. I was about to say some of you might be... Whomever this is, yeah, justice here is justice. But I had a moment where I was like, are you connected to Libra? And I had no idea why. I don't know why I was on the verge of saying that, but that is there. And I don't know why. But anyway, it reminded me of that because they got this too, but somebody was jealous of their situation as they had clearly moved on. But it's such a strong impression there. We have gossip, jealousy, envy, the cats. We don't want to envy anybody or anything. We want to be happy and proud of our own lives, right? We shouldn't want to be or ever be in a position of jealousy, and bullshit and somebody else's critique. No, we should be very much pleased and feel good and grateful for what we do have because it's right for us, not because it's, oh, I'm just so grateful for these scraps. Fuck that. No. We don't want to be in a position of ever envying anybody. Bride, wife, engagement. So, I don't know who that is. I did say I felt that feminine energy here. It could be a prospect in the future. It could be that same person. I don't know. It has the position of wife as well as engagement or potential wife. This could be also this person. But they don't feel so much like a bride anymore. But they are obviously someone of importance. Wife. Or it's the potential engagement. I don't know. One is youthful. Anchor, stability, security. Yeah. We want that sense of stability. We want that sense of security, but that also applies to the emotions too. People often think because they're materially secure, they're supposed to be happy. That's often not the case. You can have 2 pennies to rub together, but you could be considered extremely wealthy if you have the love and support of a lifetime. But yes, there's something to be said about stability and security, and you have to ask yourself, is this situation stable and secure outside of the finances and things like that? Okay? There's more to life than that. Don't get me wrong, it's an important life. I don't dismiss, honey. I got bills to pay like everyone else does. But there's yet, I insist, and so should you, there's more to life than that. If that's what you need. If love's not a priority, then you have your answer. Boom, done. There's no fuss. I don't know why I'm here, but then there would be no fuss. Reflect on your priorities, exactly what we were just discussing. What are your priorities? Safety, security. There is such a thing as emotional stability and emotional instability. Think about it. What are your priorities? Can you have them all in one place and person? Or are you going to compromise? Well, at least I have this one, if not the other one. Who else? God knows what else is out there. Gotta know what your priorities are, honey. Okay. Know your worth. New moon in Taurus. Know your worth. Absolutely. When you understand your priorities and you know your worth, you know what it is that you will accept, you know what it is that you will not accept. And the Aries I'm looking at says that you are learning the difference. I know which way you're leaning. But again, I feel like you're holding up on this out of a technicality that you're supposed to or it's expected of you. Not that you necessarily want to. I think you already know the end result. So while the Wheel of Fortune says it's going to start swinging in one direction, as you try to let the other person catch up to you and try to fulfill each other's emotional needs, upon proof or validation that that's not coming through, you're going to start to swing in the other direction. The one that you knew was correct probably this whole time, but hey, you got to do the thing, right? You got to do the complete circuit. Be humble. First quarter moon in Leo, we got to get rid of this idea that I'm worth all of this. We don't want to get into a place of I deserve all this or narcissistic. No, it's the idea of humble. This is for me, this is not for me. This is for my highest good, this is not for my highest good. This is either making me feel loved, healthy, safe, and secure, or it does not. That's it. That's what be humble is. Know it's for you. Know it's not for you. End of story. I don't know why people make it out to be so fucking complicated. And make time for self-love. Part of being humble is to know that you need to love yourself too and see to your own needs. Okay? Whatever they are. You need to understand that. I can't tell you. You have to figure that out because you have to also understand what your priorities are. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. My thumb speared that big heart. I know. And the love, I think some of you are learning to love yourself more, and that's where this is coming from. As you learn to love yourself more, you start to see what's around you based on your experience with loving yourself. When you know yourself less and you don't really understand your worth and you don't love yourself as much as you should, you're going to put that on somebody else. Like, you know what? I'm looking to you, and you're going to provide me that sense of loving myself. You can't. Nobody can supplement that for you. And it's something you have to learn. You cannot assign someone else to make you understand your own self-worth. So when you first met, they might have been your personal cheerleader. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That's what they're supposed to do. Our partners are supposed to support. They're supposed to be that. But it's not going to mean nothing if you don't see it in yourself. So we attach ourselves to people who can raise that particular value, and they can for a little bit. Then it comes down again. So as you begin to learn your self-worth, how you see your environment and anything in it, including people, begins to change. Is this a good reflection of me and where I'm at and what I should be doing? See what I'm saying? It's a little bit of everything. Learning to love yourself, but also understanding that you need to know your worth, and being humble is part of that. Okay, and then you can start making choices. All right, the seashell, sign of Cancer, listening to your feelings, as we've discussed. The bat, the sonar signals that is unique to the bat. Okay, the darker side of things that most people aren't comfortable with, and that's one of the first things we should try to get comfortable with, is what are we signaling? What are we signaling to others? Is this my real mate? Did I really mean to hone in on this because they use sonar and things like that? To understand their surroundings. So some of you are deeply in tune with your surroundings, but not so much yourself, and that's exactly what you're trying to do. And again, as you change, your signal is changing. You're refining your radar, if you will, as the bat does. All right, Dragon, Aries, Leo, Sag, the passion, the energy, and also the frustration and anger. Lightning bolt, tower moment, and then UN. UNN. Let's see. Again, the sign of Cancer. I have some very strong Cancer in your chart. Could be connected to one. The letter H. The Pegasus in reverse, feeling like we don't have the freedom to choose, that we don't have the freedom to ascend, and that we don't have the freedom to move on. This is not true. We're learning this. Oh, it's them. It's not you. I don't know why I just said that. I said it's not you, it's them. They don't feel like they have the freedom to choose or to ascend, that they have nowhere to go. Feminine glasses. They wear small glasses. Full-time, maybe. They have bad eyesight. They can't read. They're always squinting. Small eyes. Oh! Small sight. Well, okay. Oh! That just clicked right here. That's what you said earlier. They said their insight's too small to see it. They don't reflect on these things. They don't like to reflect on these things. Their sight's too small to see the bigger picture. In order to see the bigger picture, they'd have to be willing to use their wings to fly and to see that they have say in this, they have choice, and that they are contributing to it. You can't deny that you're not part of this or contributing to it. You just choose not to see it. Oh, shit. They don't know how to fly. They don't have a strong vision outside of this. Poor insight. A lot of status, poor insight will do that. You know, I give you a lot of power. That's what happens when you give your power away like that. You have somebody else be a cheerleader. What happens when they stop wanting to be your cheerleader? And that's when you need to know what your worth is, because they're going to stop reminding you of it. Damn. Okay. Well, now, I think we got a lot done here today. I am glad we pushed this over to the next day. I really am. It was worth it. It was absolutely worth it. I hope this was helpful. I got direction here. We got insight. We got action. We have all the components. You got a double hinge. It makes sense to me. I hope it makes sense to you. But again, I think you already know which way you want that door to swing. Okay, honey. I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.